Good YouTube? We back for another video, man. Today, man, before I get into it, hope you guys have been locked in. Hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves, man. Alright. I'm gonna get straight into it, man. People are only gonna care about you when you make it, when you're on top, you know. This is coming from somebody that isn't on top yet, but you know, I've seen it so many times, and that's kind of just the reality of it, right? When you're at your lowest point of yourself, nobody's really gonna care. You know, friends, you know, family, sometimes even your relationships, girlfriend, boyfriend, nobody's really gonna care. It's not a lot of people in this world that is willing to stick it out with you. And that's kind of the reality of it, right? Nobody wants to see that person succeed. Everybody wants to, it's like in a race, right? The people that are cheering you on, the people that are watching, they're not racing with you. They're not seeing the grind that you're putting in to win that race. They're literally just on the sidelines waiting for you at the waiting for whoever is at the finish line. They're not gonna actually race with you. No. You think you're gonna get out there race with you? No, they're only gonna wait to see they're gonna wait at the end of the finish line and see who crosses it first. And then just congratulate the person that makes it. That's how life is, man. You see, nobody's gonna care about you when you're broke. You think people are gonna care? No. But when you become rich, all of a sudden everybody cares. Family members that you probably even talk to are probably gonna try to come around. Right? Friends that you probably don't even talk to no more, that probably cut you off for whatever reason, they're gonna try to come around because you're rich now, because you're up. The people that you didn't even talk to or that neglected you when you were down are gonna come back when you're up. It's sad, man, right? That's where the term gold digger comes from. That's where all these money chaser terms come from. Because it's like, nobody is gonna see the grind, right? One thing about me is that if I have a homie and he's at his lowest right now, I'm gonna stick beside him and push him and support him till he gets to the point where he is. And I'm not gonna wait until he becomes rich or successful to act like I'm a homie. I'm gonna be a real homie from day one. Right? So you have to watch out for that. And I feel like I have to watch out for that. You know, I don't really have that many homies for real. But, I have to watch out for that. Because that's how people get you, man. That's where fake friends come in play. Same thing with improving your looks and your physique, right? If you were somebody that was unattractive, nobody's gonna look your way, right? You're not really gonna get no attention. But the moment you start looking better and start look smacking and start improving on your physique, and people start actually noticing, now all of a sudden, all the girls and even the dudes are gonna respect you, right? I say mostly girls because but girls are now all of a sudden you're gonna attract a lot of women or attract more women. But don't get it twisted. Getting in shape is not gonna attract more women. I'm telling you right now. You have to max out everything. But obviously having a nice physique will help. But it's not gonna attract women as much as you think. Muscles is not gonna attract women, man. Right? As long as you have an aesthetic physique where you look like you lift in clothes, you know. But at the same time, you know, you're jacked. Like, you know, you look like you lift in clothes. Like when you know you're walking around, people can kind of tell you lift. And on top of that, you know, your aesthetic as well, right? That's kind of the goal I'm trying to reach, right? I want to have the mass aesthetic look. You know, like I want to look like I lift, you know, while also being aesthetic as well. So mass aesthetics. That's what I'm trying to chase. I want to be as big as possible. Like not as big as possible. But I want to be like as big as I can be while being the leanest I can be, if that makes sense. Mass aesthetics, right? That's what I'm chasing, mass aesthetics. So yeah, you know, when you start actually improving your looks, let's say you were skinny, or let's say you were overweight, you finally start to, you know, improve your looks, put time into the gym, all of a sudden you're gonna get a lot of attention, right? I'm gonna give y'all like a little example. Um, I was in, I tell this all the time on my videos, but when I was in middle school, I got zero attention from women, zero, like this, right? Because I was ugly. I mean, I was pretty much ugly, man. You know, back then I didn't really care about my looks. I mean, you know, I didn't know what Looks Max it was. I didn't even try to get into the gym or nothing. I just kind of just, you know, was just being a middle schooler, right? Being a kid. But fast forward, you know, I got into high school. I still really didn't get much attention until I literally started improving my looks. I started kind of looks maxing a little bit. I didn't even know it was called looks maxing, but I started kind of improving my looks for the first time. And the one time where I improved my looks, the same people that didn't really say much to me or didn't really talk to me like that, now all of a sudden I got more girl attention than I usually would, right? Just off of me improving my looks. You know, back then it used to be zero. Now I finally am able to get some girl attention now, you know. So just imagine when I'm actually like, when I build my physique up and actually like max out my looks fully, man, it's tough, right? But like I said, man, a lot of people don't want to see the come up. It's not, and that's kind of why a lot of relationships fail. Because you could be in a relationship with a girl and you could tell her, hey, I want to do this or I want to do this, right? A lot of, I don't see a lot of girls willing to stick it out with their man. I don't. You know, like it's an investment. So a lot of girls don't want to wait. They want to you know, they don't want to wait until you become successful. They want to already be at the finish line. And whoever's already at the finish line, they're going to pick them. They're not going to wait on you. And that's kind of the reality of it. Cuz most women are hypergamous, so they're only going to go for the best option. Meaning that if you're not already there yet, she ain't going to really care. Most women ain't going to really care. But it's okay though. I mean, hey, you know, but don't expect any support when you're on your self-improvement grind, because they're not. Trust me. If you think that people are going to support you, they're not. Sometimes not even family, right? You know, I told my fam one time that I was going to start a business. Mistake. They looked at me crazy, right? Oh, it's not going to work. Like for real, like, I tell people that I'm getting in the gym, you know, my own family members, I ain't gonna say my family, but people have called me small. So they probably think that, you know, I'm gonna stay small forever, but I'm not. You know, that's why you don't tell people what you do. You just have to put in the work silently, right? You just have to put in that work because people are not going to see the process. Only you're going to see the process. They're not going to see the work that you put in. They're only going to see the results, right? A lot of people might look and see that you've built a crazy physique, but they don't see the 4 or 5 years that you put into it to get it. They don't see all the gym sessions that you went during those 4 or 5 years to build that physique. They don't know how much effort you put into your diet, right? They only see the after, but they don't see how long you've put into that. Same thing with making money. They see that you're rich and you're a millionaire, but they don't know how long it took you to become that. They don't see how the effort that you put in to, you know, become that. That's how it is. So, you know, that's why, like I say, you never tell people your plans, you know, because not everybody's going to support, you know. Don't expect people to wait on you to become successful, man, because they're not. 9 times out of 10, they're not. Relationships, family, you know. But when you finally do become successful, whatever, right? They're going to, you know, they're going to face support and be like, oh, I always knew that you was going to become this. No, you didn't. You literally didn't even give a fuck about what I had going on. But now, the moment I'm up, now you want to care. This world is kind of messed up, man. You know, that's why I say being successful is actually a curse. It's actually not as good as it seems. I mean, it seems like a better life, and it is, right? I mean, you know, but the way you get treated when you become successful, but majority of the time it's not even genuine, because would they have treated you like that when you weren't successful? Like if you was ugly as hell at one time, you know, and you managed to look smacks and you know, you might look at it like, oh yeah, finally I'm getting all this attention, people are finally respecting me. But some people might still have that mindset like, damn, all of a sudden I'm getting all this attention. Like, would they have given me all this attention back when I was a skinny loser or fat as hell, and I was ugly, unattractive? Would girls be giving me all this attention back then? No, right? So sometimes it kind of gets to people. I don't know, man. But anyway, that's it for this video, man. I kind of wanted to just vent a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. And yeah, see you on the next one. Peace.